where I was shooting too straight. I'm banned for literally no reason.
There's nothing wrong with me cheating. What is wrong with me cheating?
Alright, callofshame is a scumbag. Like, there's no two ways about it. Like, the man is a scumbag.
Amen, callofshames. Amen.
So tired of these 30 IQ brain-dead idiots who listen to people like Call of Shame.
There is no question, high-profile streamers are cheating in Call of Duty Warzone. They do this to keep their viewership, earn large amounts of money, and to attract new sponsorships. Today I am going to present something that many people will not know about. This will allow everyone to see how complex it is for Ricochet behind the scenes. Names and context of what I am about to show you have been removed. This is what a video game developer has to say.
I called cheaters Pokemons because I was collecting them in the ban library. And the basic thing about that is, like, it's a huge game of cat and mouse. Like, you're basically trying to get ahead and get those guys banned in as many ways as possible. And we got a couple of personal connections on griefers and vandals. They've been trying to, wouldn't I say destroy our game, but they've been trying really hard to make us look really bad. And they invested a lot of time and money to do that. I've even seen a couple of streamers of ours cooperating with cheaters, so they increase their view time because they are actually behind the scenes talking to them, so they can see effects in game, get good gear, and it's been a big problem as well.
It is indeed a problem, and Activision are starting to see the damage these Warzone streamers have done to their game. They were badly advised through community influencer teams, and now they have had enough.
You already know who sells cheats. Those are usually guys who do it for money. I've seen a lot of website portals, guys like private sellers, that to evade leaks of their cheats, keep it really simple. They sell it through IMs, Skype, ICQs, IRC, forums, both private and public. A lot of the forums actually need a recommendation from one of the people in the forums. It can go from $1 a month up to 500. If you can ask why so much, there are things out there that they are keeping in private communities, and people are willing to pay a lot of money for undetected cheats that stay there for a long time.
I have often claimed some high-profile streamers use custom cheats. These are not available via web search, and in order to gain access to them, you need to be in a very small circle. The more money you have, the better the contacts. It's that simple. This is why anti-cheat developers are now using undercover agents to try and locate private cheat providers.
So when we have a snitch in the cheating community, and when he wants to send us a cheat, it's usually hardware ID locked. It's unusable, it's usually running in a VM and a bytecode, and it has a lot of anti-reverse engineering protection. When you're buying a cheat, they use services like VK, WebMoney, and a lot of services that you don't get in Europe. So a lot of the sites require a citizen ID to buy a cheat, which is really funny when you think about it. They require Skype call, so you will have to be really outspoken in their language, and you have to be able to prove your identity to the guy on the Skype call. So I had to hire a Russian snitch who actually did the call for us and provided the ID and the VK account and the history of cheating. But he was willing to do that, and he got money for that.
It sheds a whole new light on what really goes on behind the scenes for developers. This is why they are furious when low IQ streamers cheat, because the simps that watch them also cheat, because they believe the gameplay they are watching is genuine, so they try to reach that unrealistic level. Streamers are not rage hackers. Rage hackers are known as vandals, the developer will explain.
These vandals need to be stopped, and in our game we do it through hardware bans. So we identify the hardware ID, which can be spoofed like anything, but we do it in a really clever way, which I will not talk about now, and ban the guy in a really complicated way. So even when he is spoofing the hardware ID, spoofing the license, using a different license, different IP, we're able to find like a correlation between the data. They have patterns that you can detect, and it's really important to get them out of the picture. The only thing you would see in the forums was like cheaters everywhere, nothing is working, just close down the game. There are loads of people that need to get involved. We're talking about legal, production, hiring dedicated staff, and even cheaters in the community. When it comes to legal, when you saw the revenue numbers that are happening within the cheating sites, taking down the sites offering cheats is something that can be done. It sometimes doesn't happen the right way, and they can move really quickly when they have reputation and money to cover themselves and their assets. Now it comes to legal and how do you do that. So a lot of people within cheating business go corporate. So they are usually tax frauding, and it's a big part of what you can use within legal to get on their backs and get them in jail.
The cheating in Warzone is not fun. This has been happening for some time, and they are making big money. The Warzone community have had enough of streamers. Anti-cheat developers are now using secret agents to infiltrate networks of cheaters. They will even pay them to snitch on up-and-coming developing cheats. This is exactly the hard-hitting approach I like to see.
And when I'm talking about cheaters, I mean people within the community who are part of cheating community and can snitch for you, buy you cheats, send you stuff. There are 3 levels of infiltration that we are using currently. We infiltrate hack providers, sites, acting as an unknown user and the good guy who's just trying to buy a cheat. We're infiltrating hacking forums where the private communities reside, and we're acting as a nasty hacker, a vandal, and we're impersonating ourselves within the community, getting the reputation, getting the connections, making friends. That's how you get to the private cheats and the exploits, which aren't mentioned anywhere. When it comes to infiltrating the private communities, that's where the reputation really is needed. You need to make fake identities, create fake people to get within those communities. And they're really private. We're talking about 3 to 4 guys who've been with each other for like years. And they usually don't let anybody inside their group. So we have to bleed some exploits to get into those groups. And once you're in, you usually stay there.
The hidden battle the public never gets to see, that Ricochet are heavily involved in, is huge. It's not just about finding a cheater and banning him, it's much bigger than this. I believe this is why, when the streamers arrive in London later this year, to take $1.2 million, Activision's legal team will be waiting.
Said that there's Warzone players that they're suspicious of, and that they'll find if they're hacking up once they sign into their accounts at the London land.
Exactly.
UAV online. Tactical nuke ready for launch.
Tactical nuke incoming!